What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Nascent Toy Collector right here on the Infinite Collectibles YouTube channel. I'm Adam Martin, co-owner of Infinite and the Nascent Toy Collector, and as you can see behind me, my toy collection is ever growing, ever expanding, and today's video, I get to add to it a very quirky, odd take on one of my very favorite superheroes. That is the Toei Amazing Spider-Man there. And this show aired in the late 70s in Japan, and Toei basically got to do whatever they wanted, and they created a really interesting take on this character. And as soon as they announced this for the 60 Amazing Years there, I had to have it. This is the one I pre-ordered. I didn't go with Amazing Fantasy 15 or any of the others. I jumped right on this one, and I cannot wait to open it up. Let's do it. So before I tear into it, let's take a look at this new plasticless, windowless box. This is my first one. Now, I'm sure you can hear all kind of vitriol on the internet. There's plenty of videos describing the hatred everyone's feeling for Hasbro's new plasticless box. I myself am not going to bother chiming in on that too much, except to say that I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't love this idea with the digital rendering on here and everything, but I like the idea of a company taking environmental responsibility. Does it affect the quality of the action figure? I don't think it actually does. The packaging, suffers a bit because you can't actually see what you're getting. And I get that, and that sucks, but hey, I mean, it could be worse, right? You could not get it at all. They do use digital renders of the figures with some artwork and stuff. Now, this is great artwork. And then, the back does show you what you get in the package. You get a couple of webs, a web line, and then a couple hands, and there you go. There's a preview of the action figure. You get all the legalese and all the warning, don't choke on me stuff in there. There's the barcode if anyone wants to see that. More legal stuff. This is a part of the 60 Amazing Years Spider-Man action figure line that Hasbro has out right now. Marvel Legends, they have like 1 million different Spider-Man figures out right now, like 2-packs. They have Renew Your Vows, and they have movie Spider-Man with Ned, and they just have a whole bunch of stuff out right now. They have Venom and King in Black, Null. I mean, there's a whole bunch. There's, I think they have an Amazing Fantasy one out. They have a whole bunch out. Anyway, this is, like I said, my first experience with the windowless box, and I don't hate it. So let's open this guy up. Tissue paper. Very interesting. Let's get him out. First Spider-Man. I'm excited about this. I really, really, really like the way this guy... Oh, yeah. Oh, immediately does not disappoint. Toei Spider-Man already being the shit. Let's get his accessories out. Oh, here we go. We got some stuff here. We got a web line with like a handle, even though he doesn't appear to have a gripping hand. Not so sure that's going to be useful. He has 2 splotches of webbing, because this is kind of what he did. It's the 70s, when he tried to apprehend criminals or basically putty guys, he would shoot them with webbing. He would say, "Spider string," and like shoot stuff out at them. And I guess, hard to do web swinging back in the day. And he came with 2 fists for beating the shit out of the bad guys. Boom, 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 fist bump. All right. And that's all the accessories. But what else do you need? Look at this is the main event right here, you guys. And just as soon as you come out of the package, I'm loving this head sculpt. Look at this head sculpt. Holy shit. Came out in 1978, and it's a loose retelling of the origin of Spider-Man. It's a little more akin to the Green Lantern and Nova, as an alien crash lands on Earth in his spaceship called the Marveler, and is discovered by a 22-year-old motocross racer, Takayu Yamashiro. I probably butchered the fuck out of that. So the alien, for some unknown reason, I haven't watched it in a long time, the alien for some reason gives him a blood transfusion, and it gives him superpowers. The alien is from the planet Spider, of note. His planet was destroyed. He's the last of his race. And along with giving him his blood, he gives him this little wristband thing, which is so beautifully rendered here on this action figure. That one thing, it stores the costume in it. He hits the button and the costume flies out and makes a goofy noise and kind of lands gently on him, and then the next thing you know, he's covered in it. It's one of the best change scenes I've ever seen. But it also gives Takuya the ability to summon Marveler, his spaceship, which can turn into a giant mech. And it's a fun show. It's so just a very, very minor changes to Peter Parker's origin, to make it fit a more Japanese audience. Very minor, nothing at all. There's no Uncle Ben. There's no anything like that. I think his dad is murdered or something, or he's getting revenge for his dad. He does at one point say he's Spider-Man and he's a demon from hell or something like that. There's some great scenes, you guys. There's all kind of YouTube videos dedicated to this show. I would highly recommend, if you've never seen it, looking it up, because it's fucking great. It's really fun to watch. I did, like I said, at least watch the transformation where the costume shoots out of the wrist thing. Really fun stuff. All right, let's take a look at the figure, though. I'm already massively impressed with his look. The look of him overall, he's not insanely muscled up, which I find to be highly awesome. Like I said, when I saw the 60th anniversary line announced, this is the only one that just really grabbed me that I had to have. I like quirky, weird stuff, and this is one of those things. Alex and I, we found this show when we were teenagers, and we just really had a bunch of laughs watching it, and so it's near and dear to me. I don't actually have any other Spider-Man figures besides my the Retro Legends 375. That's the only other one I have, and so I really wanted something Spidey, and the quirkier the better. I like quirky action figures, and this definitely falls into that category. Now, like I was saying, the sculpt on this guy is badass. He's not overly muscular. There's a lot of Spider-Mans on the market, Spider-Men on the market, that are just overly muscular. I do like the fact that they made this feel like that TV show. I mean, I've already been gushing about the head sculpt, but also just all the musculature. His arms aren't giant. He doesn't have a 90 pack of abs. He's not just insanely buff. I mean, he's not out of shape by any means. He's got a little butt crack there, as you can see. But, not over the top, and I really, really, really like that. I think that's a great touch. The colors on this thing, I'm sure my lights are not doing it any justice. The colors are amazing. This is a really nice blue, and this is a really sharp red. And honestly, just looking it over here, all the web lines are really nice and straight. Everything pretty much matches up. His face looks fantastic. If we can get a good look at it there. That face, the webbing on it, everything about it is just fantastic. The way it comes down his neck and everything, it just looks great. All the details are there. I'm really, really, really digging the overall look of this action figure. Man, good job on the presentation. Let's take a look at articulation, because this is a 6.5 inch, whatever, 6.5. Let's see. Let's just see real quick. I believe there's 6.5 inches. Get my little tape measure out here. Yeah, he's 6.5 inches. Let's see, put it. He's 6.25 inches tall. Pretty cool scale. Let's take a look at articulation. His head is on a ball. It goes up that high. It goes down that far. Pretty awesome. It does go side to side, all the way around if you want it to. It's got a lot of, a little bit of side to side rock there. Not a lot, but a little bit. His arms go 360 degrees this way. Out, I'd say 90 degrees. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have a pinless 2-part elbow. He can reach pretty far back there, as you can see. He could probably put his arms behind his head if he needed to. Really cool. I like this. I love these elbows. I really like this new modern articulation on these action figures. I think it's badass. He does have a 360 degree swivel on the wrist, and then of course it is hinged as well. Has to be. It's Spider-Man, right? Man, really, just God, I'm really, really digging this figure. With it in hand, it's even nicer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, his torso is jointed here. He's got the crunch joint. He can bend back that far, which is pretty nice. He can go forward that far, that's pretty nice as well. He also has a wivel. He has a waist swivel, or as we'll be calling it now, he has a wivel. He just has that. Look at that wivel there. He's got plenty of wivel. His hips are on balls, and his legs can go forward I would say, what, 90? And go back 10, if that, and then go out to the side. So, you know, pretty typical Marvel Legends range of motion there. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have a 2-part knee that allows him to kick his own ass. Pap, 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 pap. Pretty nice there. He does not have a boot swivel. No swivel at the boot, but he does have the awesome Marvel Legends ankles that go forward and back and go all the way around, and you got all kind of posability. I will say that I really dig this white on the bottom of his feet. That was one of the selling points for me. I don't know if it's like that in the show. I cannot remember it, and I don't see any pictures that are specifically referencing that white, but I do really, really like it for some reason. I don't know why. It just kind of stands out. Like, even when he's standing there, you can kind of just see that white, like the sole on his shoe. I really dig that. So there's the articulation. It is a very standard Marvel Legends figure. I do like that the paint goes up under there. If you have him flex back, you know, it doesn't disappear when you flex him, that you can still see that there's the webbings under there. I like that. Sometimes toys get cheap. They don't quite, you know, finish it all out like that. I do like that this one is done all the way. I don't have any major flaws here. Nothing really to complain about. I'm not, let's see, how posable is he? I don't know that he can quite get into some of the poses I'd like him to be able to. Let's see. Can he? He's fairly posable. I mean, you know, I don't know. I would like him to be able to get all the way down into some of those spider crouches, you know. I know he can't quite do that. It's not as posable as I'd like it to be, but it's a pretty, you know, he's got a lot of range of motion here. I don't know what all you could really do with it. I'm not that great at posing them. I just kind of have them standing on my shelf. I don't know. I'm kind of a dork like that. I do really like this action figure, though. He's definitely, like I said earlier, I'm definitely glad to add him to my collection. It is weird that he came with this accessory and he has no way to grip it. He's not have a gripping hand. So, you know, that just pulls right off there. That's kind of funny. He did, you know, like I said, he came with the 2 fists. You want to put a fist in, it just pops right out, and you can pop a fist right in there. Really easy to do. And there you go. Now he's ready to punch something, beat the shit out of somebody. Spidey is ready to go. Samurai Spidey. Man, fun show. You guys should really check it out. I highly recommend it. At least check out that opening if you can't check out anything else about it. But yeah, there he is, guys. Spider-Man from the Toei live action series from the late 70s. Man, totally rad. Really glad to add this to my collection. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit like, hit subscribe. Have a great week. Keep it geek.